Welcome everybody to another edition of TEW 2020, as it's time to continue our MLW 2005 series, as it's night after Devil's Night, and we're beating the road to King Kings at the end of the year. But first, it's time for basically the Aftermath show. Just as a taping note, we're doing like one taping for the night after the big show, and then another taping that'll be 3 shows, which will probably be this entire video. Might be show after that, but I'm not 100% sure. Regardless, we open up with the Extreme Horsemen at Devil's Night, basically celebrating. You know, they got the champagne, she holds the title, and Steve Corino is cutting a promo basically saying, you know, I warned you that retribution was coming to all of Major League Wrestling for what you guys did. That yes, the King Old School was cheated on my MLW world title, and just when I was going to get my revenge, I got unlucky. I got injured again. But I am not a man who plays on listening. So I went over to Japan and I found the toughest SOB in the future of Japanese wrestling to come over and take apart Low-Ki like the punk he is. Now you got reminded by we're the elite force in professional wrestling, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. 62, solid promo. And then we start out with a opening match, which is a fun little high-flying match, as in a 4-match Dragon Kid and Incognito defeated the Hart Foundation 2K3 of Teddy Hart and Jack Evans in 8-13 when Dragon Kid pinned Jack Evans with a Dragon Rana 46. You can just imagine the flippy stuff that went on here. Incognito gets a 29, Dragon Kid gets a 38, Teddy Hart gets a 30, Jack Evans gets a 52, and good stuff. Just a solid one for the Dragon Kid and Incognito team. And post-match they celebrate, which gets a 25. Then we have a segment which is highlights of the ECMO Fatu using frosting at Devil's Night. You know, buy the DVD, please buy the DVD. 49 for that pipe. And then we have a backstage segment where basically the feature trucks are backstage celebrating their win in 4-way match at Devil's Night. You know, basically saying they just proved why they're the best tag team in all of professional wrestling. You know, why not only did these MLW Global Crown Tag titles prove it, but our run as MLW World Tag Team Champions prove it. We can step into any promotion and become champions just like that. 50, actually a solid promo, better than I thought it would be. And then we have a 3-way tag match as an Evo Athletic Team for the crowd. That's the Pro Wrestling. Stampede Bulldogs of Harry Smith and TJ Wilson defeat Lightbringer and Joker and the Phantom Bulls in 8-36 when Harry Smith pinned Joker with a springboard heart attack. Yeah, basically the Lightbringer Joker pushes over. Lightbringer's initial angle, I never really got into it completely. And so here they are. I wish I could do more with the heavy and pit bulls, but I have a limited time, and you know they aren't rich promo guys, and I could throw them in a stable with Homicide eventually, but I think that might be something I do in 06, or I honestly just might let them go. They've had a solid run, but you know if there's nothing to do with them, I'm neither of them young guys. Regardless, this gets a 44. Joker gets a 26. Lightbringer gets a 46. Workman gets a 38. Rocky Grace gets a 47. TJ Wilson gets a 41, and Harry Smith gets a 33. And the Pit Bulldogs and Nettie celebrate afterwards to a 37. Then we have, again, 3-way highlights as we get, between the match where, of course, Amazing Red got the huge win as Sydal and Nigel basically caused each other a loss. So this gets a 58. And then we have basically a video, going over ICP's exploits in professional wrestling, especially in Juggalo Shit Championship Wrestling and various indies. So this gets a 42 and just ends it with basically, some words on the screen, are you down with the clown? So this gets a 42. And then it's main event time as the Extreme Horsemen of MLW World Champion Hiroshima and Simon Diamond defeat Junior Fatu and Sabu in 12:54 when Hiroshima pins Sabu with the lariat. Backdrop driver, lariat on Sabu, wipes him out. This gets a 59, so Sabu gets a 53, Fatu gets a 52, Diamond gets a 56, Hiroshima gets a 55. And then post-match, there's a stare down as Low-Ki comes out between Low-Ki and Hiroshima, as Stephen puts the idea that Low-Ki does not deserve another title shot against somebody like Hiroshima who ran over him. This gets 65, like I said, and the show itself ends with a 54. So solid stuff. Not the best. Not the best. Aftermath show, but sets up the Hiroshima Low-Ki things still going on. Puts the tag division over. Builds up hype for the other stuff that's still going on. And but let's just see what this is. Strong wants to pay-rise. I mean, yeah, sure. Let's see, we got any email. But yeah, we were number 1 in the Southeast Regional Battle, and Michael Shea thinks Harry Smith has money, but that's about it. And just so you guys can see, just real quick, because I never get a chance to show this to you. Shawn Williams, Real is getting 99s. Booker T and Austin Orr is teaming up. AJ Styles, Ric Flair is another random team. Kane Van Dam, Triple H defeat Orton, Venus, and Storm. D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry are team again. They defeated Turkey and Rosie. Yeah, wild and wacky stuff. Yeah, I still don't know how AJ got so over. I mean, let me just, again, I'm kind of confused. Let me just see here when he signed with WWE. So, like, I'm now interested because I remember, like, he had a random, like, 90 something on a previous show. So, let's see here. WWE. Okay, so he showed up. Yeah, he showed up on Heat in July. So, he's gone, I mean, 10-18, but yeah, still. So, let me go. So, yeah, let me go back to his match history. Or maybe let's just go to his job history. So, yeah, let me just go to TNA, which is because I'm interested to see what he was getting right before he left. Okay, so he was getting like random 90s, of course he was, and like, yeah. Okay, very interesting. So, yeah, wow. Okay, so huge. Okay, and again, like, it's just, and he's not even that over. Jesus. Okay, well then. Anyway, I just want to check that out because I noticed that. Anyway, I'll be back with the next taping, which will be, of course, 3 weeks as per usual. Well, not per usual, but 3 weeks this time because I've got like a spot basically where I can do it. That's it. So see you in just a moment with that as we begin the road to King of Kings. Alright, folks, it's time for the next taping. It's 3 tapings, and we're actually at the Element Nightlife in Columbia, South Carolina, which is in the Mid-Atlantic region. Well, Anders will put over that, like, well, I mean, okay, what happened is Kevin Kelly will put over, like, the close-in feeling will give, a throwback to the early days of MLW. Well, Steve Carino, because he's Steve Carino, we'll just call it, a shithole. Basically, we're doing this because we need to, get some awareness in the Mid-Atlantic to get to the next size up, and also just because, why not have some TV shows in separate areas? And plus, everybody's just almost as over in the Mid-Atlantic as they are in the Southeast, so it's not a huge deal as far as, like, awareness. Like, it's not a case where we're also going to be getting 30s on TV because or be playing over, at least hopefully. Anyways, we start with Nigel McGuinness in the back, basically saying, he's okay with, the Amazing Red got the win and is now, for the moment, the #1 contender. What he's bloody upset about is that son of a bitch, Michael Sydal, got in his way and bloody stopped him from getting the win when he could have had the win. So Sydal, you think you're special just because you got a title shot when you were junior heavyweight champion. You think you're special because you got some slag on your arm. Well, I'm Nigel McGuinness, and I'm one of the best wrestlers on the planet. I'm going to remind you that in Major League Wrestling, you wrestle. 50 solid promo. He's on just over that McGuinness would be facing Inferno tonight in a big main event. Then we have Akira Tozawa defeating Joel Maximo in 6:54 by pinfall with a 42. Maximo gets a 43. Tozawa gets a 38 as he gets another strong win. And I really need to find a picture for Tozawa. Anyway. And after that, Tozawa makes the belt motion, so that gets a 37. And then after that, we have the Lyrics of Inferno highlights from the, from Devil's Night. Again, buy the DVD, please. Go to MLW.com and buy that DVD. As this gets a 43. Then we move forward as any buy that D-Strap from the crowd, but Subpar Wrestling. Veteran Ray Gordy of Dynamite Daisies defeat Chad Quarrier and Michael Wanas in 9:54. And Gordy pins Chad Quarrier with the Country's Thunder. Gordy carried the match in terms of main performance. This gets a 42 overall. Wanas gets a 37. Collier gets a 29. Gordy gets a 46. Vetter gets a 35. Just a straightforward win for the Dynamite Daisies tag team. And then we just have a long-ass total rant from Dynamite Daisies about how it's pathetic that when they were supposed to make their debut as a band in front of the world, two painted up freaks who think they're wrestlers because they hit each other with chairs and fall through glass and mutilate themselves, all as a bunch of pathetic loser version neckbeard dangerous fans follow them around like a bunch of Pied Pipers. Well, you have to, so keep the ICP fans who, watch their quote-unquote heroes interrupt us. We want to remind you of a few things. Devonta Reeves, this is what an actual man looks like. Nikki Rocks, and this is what an actual woman that you'll never touch looks like. So, if you want to talk about Down the Clown, we're going to put the clowns down in the ground if they get our way again. 39, solid promo. And then we have a basically world title match highlights between Loki and Takeshi Morishima, which gets a 65, again, by the DVD, released by the DVD. And then we have a Homicide promo basically saying, he proved that he deserved respect against Sanjay Dutt and that he's moving up. While Sanjay Dutt will be stuck down where he belongs because he's pulled 187s on all the top talent in MLW, and he's going to get his respect one way or the other. And this gets a 45. And then in the main event, it's a back and forth really good match. But what happens is, basically what happens is Val comes down, distracts for free because she's Val, and then Matt Sydal comes in, hits someone sort of like cutter type of move on Nigel McGuinness that knocks Nigel loopy enough for Verno hit the devil's wings to get the 1-2-3 victory over Nigel. This gets a 70, which I think might be our best match ever. I'll have to double check, but it's still a really good match. As it gets a 70, Nigel gets a 62, Verno gets a 64, and then post match Nigel chases after Sydal and Val while Verno celebrates, which gets a 60, and overall the show itself gets a 57. So I'll be back in just a second with the next show of the taping. But strong start so far. Okay, now it's time for the next show, the taping, as we have a really interesting segment. As basically what happens is Loki comes out and says, that he wants his rematch for the title as soon as possible because he's a warrior. He wants to face Morishima in the ring of combat. How come the Extreme Horsemen says doesn't work that way? Okay, you see, we're professional athletes. You may be a warrior who wants to fight all the time, but he wants to be paid well for it. Even old Takeshi over here. He has to eat lots of sushi. But if you beat an opponent of our choosing tonight, we'll give you a rematch for the title. If not, well, you go back to the bottom, and we face suitable competition. Look, he's like, fine, I will defeat Simon Diamond just like I defeated him before. Simon Diamond's like, Simon says, I'm not going to be your opponent, because I have other things to worry about. Loki says, oh, fine, I'll fight whoever. And then that's it, 71, good stuff, and then continues that. And then in a match, Incognito and Dragon Kid draw with the Sneaky Bulldogs in 10-27 following a double countout. So this isn't like a fighting double count. This is like everybody hitting flips and then like doing some high flying stuff on the outside, and then at the ring ref counting to 10 and having to throw things out. As this gets a 43, Dragon Kid gets a 40, Incognito gets a 32, TJ Wilson gets a 43, and Harry Smith gets a 32 himself. Good stuff. And post match, everybody handshakes because they're good baby faces. As this gets a 30. Then we go backstage where we have a Hero and Strong promo. Unfortunately, they rolled it well. And also Roderick's gimmick is getting stale, which I'll have to remember to fix in a little bit here. Regardless, they go over the fact, okay. They want another shot at Feud Attraction. Yes, they lost before, but they just defeated Simon Diamond. And God, I'm having a weird day of moment of not being able to put these. Well, because these guys are great promo guys. Anyway, they just put like they think they deserve another shot of feature attraction. And Chris here is this is going to show in a moment why he's one of the best wrestlers in the world when he takes on Michael Shane in that ring. And yes, Michael, you are Shawn Michaels' nephew, but I'm going to prove that bloodlines don't matter. Talent does. 44, not the worst promo, but not the best either, especially considering these guys are over this. As we move forward to the actual match, we're in a really good match, especially for the guys' overness. And about that good heat in decent wrestling, Chris Hero defeated Michael Shane in 12:42 by pinfall with a Hero Sandwich. This gets a 56. Shane basically tries to cheat a little, goes for the super kick. Hero avoids it. Hero does his funny European wrestling stuff, and eventually, hits his Hero Sandwich off to look up what it is one of these days. And with a big pinfall victory over one half of the Global Crown Tag Team Champions, this gets a 56, like I said. Chris Hero gets a 47. Michael Shane gets a 54. And post-match, of course, Hero and Strong celebrate while Shane is unhappy in the ring, which gets a 52. And Loki is coming out for his match when out of nowhere comes Echo. And Echo just goes wallops him and just destroys him because he comes from behind. And Loki tries to fight back because he's a fighter and a warrior. But Echo's 300 pounds plus, a very upset Samoan, and he just totally wipes out Loki before the bell can ring, and he just walks away as MLW officials come to ringside. And this gets a 70. And then we go to commercial as announcers aren't sure even if the match is going to happen. And then post match, Loki's Amazing Red, who says he wants to step in and replace Loki tonight, but Loki wasted him off and says he's ready to fight. This gets a 54 because it was 2 minutes, and two guys who aren't the best promo guys, but basically puts over what's going on here, as Loki is ready to still fight even after getting drilled from behind. That came out wrong, but you know what I meant. And then we move forward to the actual match. Marvel had good wrestling, great wrestling, good heat. ECMO defeats Low Ki in 11:48 by pinfall with Simone Splash. So, like, you get what happens here. Low Ki is battered and beat, but he's still at war. He's hitting kicks, and he gets a little bit of offense. But eventually, ECMO overpowers him, hits the big Simone drop, goes up top, hits a Simone Splash on the former world champion, and gets the 1, 2, 3. This gets a 61. Low Ki gets a 62. ECMO gets a 55. I think mostly because ECMO went over. Yeah. Inconsistency, ECMO was fatigued, and penalized for charisma. Okay, yeah, there we go. And then post-match, the Extreme Horsemen come out, and Kirino says, what, did you think we didn't have a plan? Did you think we were just going to get some random, like, I don't know, Matt Martel and put him out here? No. We always have a plan. That's why we're the Extreme Horsemen, and you're just beat up on the ground. You see, ECMO was sick and tired of not getting what he deserved, so we gave him a chance to rip apart and destroy the former world champion, was that nobody can deny that he deserves a shot at glory. Not the world title yet, but eventually, maybe. What's more important is, Low Ki is, you just got your ass kicked. You have no claim on the number one contest show anymore. In fact, nobody really does. Or at least, your buddy Amazing Red won the number one contender match, but come on. Does that little guy really want to face nearly 300 pounds of pure Japanese destruction? I don't think so. So, just face it. We're the Extreme Horsemen, and we rule this company once again. 67, solid stuff. As this gets a 57, so again, decent, really good show. I sort of overfill it with I just basically did, hey, 3 good matches. There we go. I guess 2 good matches and two really good angles. But I'll be back in a second with the final show of the taping, and then we'll go from there. All right, and now it's time for the final show of this taping in South Carolina, and we got 158 people, which I sort of assume because of sort of the low rate. We only have a 31 rating, 31 popularity here in the Mid-Atlantic region, but not the end of the world or anything. We'll push it through. Anyway, we'll start with Kevin Kelly basically announcing the King of Kings tournament to put forth the next number one contender. So basically, what's over, the King of Kings will be a 4-way match at King of Kings. Will be a 4-way 30-minute Ironman match where the person who ends up with the most falls will become the new number one contender and get the next title shot. However, in order to qualify for the King of Kings match, you must face some tough competition. So, first, Low Ki will face Simon Diamond. Averna will face Junior Fatu. Nigel McGuinness will face Matt Sydal. And Sanjay Dutt will face Homicide. And the winners of each of those matches, which will be seen on Underground in the coming weeks, will face off at the King of Kings match at King of Kings at the end of this year. Pause for that, big match, as Steve basically complains this is all a backdoor way to get Low Ki another tag shot, even though he doesn't deserve one. Then we go forward where we have, another promo about, ICP highlights of their concerts, of being ICP, Juggalo Shit Championship Wrestling, etc., which gets a 39. And then in a decent match, Delirious and Akira Tozawa team up to take on the Van Pitbulls and get the win in 8:04 when Tozawa pins Ricky Reyes, as this gets a 46. Tozawa gets a 41, Delirious gets a 46, Motor gets a 32, Ricky Reyes gets a 46. Solid match is basically, the baby faces team up and get a solid win over the Pitbulls. And then there's a handshake between both men, but basically it holds on for too long as Kid, points to the title. Delirious nods as Daisy Hayes basically, drags them away. As this gets a 32. As we come back from commercial, we get the official announcement that yes, it'll be Delirious versus Akira Tozawa at King of Kings. And that gets a 32. Then we have a quick Sanjay Dutt promo, which gets a 38, as he basically talks, Homicide beat me at Devil's Night, but I'm going to get my rematch as part of King of Kings, and then I'm going to walk into King of Kings at the end of this year, and him will be the man who's getting the next shot at the World Heavyweight title. 38, not the greatest promo, but what can you do? Then we have a sort of, and again, I'm trying to explain it, it's probably going to be bad, but what can you do? Basically, it's Dynamite Daisies amongst the Juggalos. And let's say we tape this at some sort of ICP concert or something like that, and basically like it's basically Gordy and Vedder like trying to play guitar, getting like you know getting pushed back from the Juggalos. Gordy, Nikki Rocks like flirting with one of the Juggalos, and then having Reese step in to chase them away. Just basically like basic comedy stuff, but in the end, like they try to get into like the ICP's locker room, get some revenge, but a bunch of Juggalos chases them off, and that's that. And as we go, we get some pictures. Reeves. Reeves actually seems like enjoy being there because he's a you know, dumb brainless meathead, and but Gordy is disgusted. Says, what? See, this is imagine my dad. How much my dad would be ashamed that so-called wrestling fans have turned into this. There's like, I mean, look at the noise they're talking. It's not even music. Anyway, 38 decent stuff. Yeah, I mean, not. I hope you got what this wackiness was, because this is pure wackiness, wrestling wackiness. Anyway, it's 38. Then in a match about the Good Eden's Wrestling, Amazing Red defeated Extreme Horsemen member Justin Credible. And yes, you may have wondered if I just forgot Credible was on the roster. And the answer to that is kinda. Anyway, just pretend he was in the background of all the Extreme Horsemen promo stuff for the last couple weeks. But anyway, back and forth match. Amazing Red gets the big win over Justin Credible by pinfall with the Red Star Press, probably after hitting the code red. This gets a 56, Credible gets a 43, Amazing Red gets a 55. And then post-match, Amazing Red cuts a promo, basically where he celebrates and says, lots of people have told me not to accept the world title match. They say that Morishima's too big, and that I could always get a title shot at another time after I win some more matches. But I'm a fighter. I've always been an underdog. Look at me. I haven't been have advantage in a fight since I think I was I was a bigger than average baby when I was 2. Ever since then, I've been the run of the litter, but I've always been a fighter. I've never given up. And you think just because Morishima was a big guy, I'm going to back down? Well, you gotta think that there's something coming. At King of Kings, I'm going to win the World Heavyweight title. So that's our next match set up for King of Kings is Takeshi Morishima versus the Amazing Red. So let me actually say that. And that gets a 43 because Red is not the best promo guy. And then we have basically a promo where Dylan is talking to Credible Diamond, says, look, yeah, no, he basically puts over like, the plan is still going fine. Going fine. We get, yeah, the King Queen's tournament is an issue, but Simon Diamond, you take care of Loki in the next couple weeks. Justin, don't worry about losing Amazing Red. These things happen. But hey, you got more. If worst thing Hiroshima has now is an easy opponent, and we got a little more talking about how we got a little bit more video of how to defeat him even if he failed. But we're still the best thing going in this business, and Reno, reminds you what the end goal of all this is. And then he walks away. Kelly tries to get Green to explain. Green just explains that's Horseman business. And that gets a 52. Then in our main event, which is just basically just a preview for the tournament, in a bout that good heat in decent wrestling, Simon Diamond, Averno, Matt Sydal, and Homicide defeated Junior Fatu, Loki, Nigel McGuinness, and Sanjay Dutt in 15-50 when Simon Diamond pinned Nigel McGuinness of all people with a Simonizer. This gets a 56. So not our best main event match in a while. But back and forth match, but basically 8-way madness, and Diamond actually gets the pinfall victory. It's as clean as an 8-man wacky match can get. Sanjay Dutt gets a 46, Nigel gets a 53, Loki gets a 65, 55 gets a 51, Homicide gets a 46, Matt Sydal gets a 47, Bruno gets a 52, and Simon Diamond gets a 57. And overall, the match gets a 49. Okay, so this is what sort of screwed us over is, I think a couple of those guys are actually not as over in the Mid-Atlantic region, but what can you do? But yeah, let's just see if there's any interesting email, and then we'll go on to the next part. I think what we'll do here is we'll do one more like weekly. We'll basically do the first go home. We'll do the first December show. I think it'll be done, or we'll go through the end of November and see what's going on there. Let's just see. Okay, TJ Wilson. I mean, sure. Okay. I mean, I think that's it. Let me see. Is there anything else to show you guys for the moment? No, I think that's it. Yeah. Okay, so I'll be back in just a second. Basically going over the monthly news in just a minute, and then I'll be back with you guys. So see you in just a second. Okay, just jumping in here for a second because again, this version of WWE in the save is wacky as hell. So let's just go over the Survivor Series. Okay, so we got first, okay, Al Snow and Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, the NWO, as we all remember, defeated Shannon Moore, Kidman, and Funaki. Okay, that's a little weird. Batista defeated Mephisto. Uh, who, yeah, uh, random Mexican guy who, for some reason, was hired by the WWE. I don't know. And now he's getting an Intercontinental title. Again, I don't know. Then we had Eddie Guerrero and Triple H, defeat, the big tag team of London and Spanky, getting a 97, of course. We had Venus and Storm defeated Brown and Henry for the WWE World Tag Team titles, and as part of that, we had Mark Henry turn. Okay. Oops, that was a spoiler, but anyway. We had John Cena defeated A-Train. We had, of course, a totally normal mid-card match. RVD defeated The Rock and The Edge in 98. So yeah, The Rock just randomly showing up for a match in 2005. Okay. Undertaker defeated Kane in 99. Kurt Angle defeated Shelton Benjamin. And then in the main event, Ric Flair in 2005 defeated Shawn Michaels and Booker T for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah, this version of WWE is sure doing stuff. And oh yeah, TNA had their pay-per-view. Amazing Red and Christopher Kane defeated Raven and Christopher Cage in Random 86. And Homicide, yeah, interesting stuff. Also, look at all these backstage scenes. Anyway, I'll be back with the end of the month stuff in just a moment. This just popped up and I had to show it to you guys. Okay, so I'm like vaguely sure I did this last month, just to go over a couple things, just in case I want to go over the organist of basically my top guys and the other indie people, just to show what's going on with everybody. So we got Averno, who has basically stayed pretty even, even losing Delirious didn't hurt him that much, so that I can't be that upset about. Delirious didn't gain that much popularity from beating Averno, but still he did pretty solid. Still getting more over. And then ECMO did actually beating low key actually help him that much? Gave him 5 points in the tri-state, so that's big, and 2 points in the southeast, and a couple points everywhere else. So Homicide. Let's see here. How are you doing, buddy? You're doing fine. Like again, gaining a couple points, like can't hurt, but not the end of the world either. Has Loki lost a ton of popularity? No. Okay, he's basically stayed even despite dropping, which is good. Sydal, let's see here. Sydal stayed even. He dropped a point in tri-state, but nothing too out of the ordinary. How did McGuinness do after dropping? Okay, same thing. He's about even. He's actually gained a couple points back, so that's good. Simon Diamond, let's see here. Where are you, buddy? Okay, Diamond's about even. And Karina, who, of course, is very interesting. So, again, Karina after getting injured, is about even as well. And finally, Morishima. Okay, so he didn't gain that much from, beating Loki, but still, not bad. I think I'll check out Stars real quick, but then I'll finish things out at least for this video, because next video will be the rest of the build-up to King of Kings. So we got Chris Hero, who again was one of those weird ones with weird popularity, but he still gained a point for beating Diamond and Incredible at the pay-per-view, which is good. Jerome Clark, let's see here, for winning the tag titles and keeping them still about even. And we'll just go down to Michael Shane real quick and see if he's any different. Shane again, he actually lost a point, which could be losses to other companies. Junior Fatu, let's see here. Fatu staying even. He's lost some popularity in general, but that's sort of why I hired him to defeat that popularity. Got Ray Gordy up to a star, so that's good. Yeah, he's gained a couple points. Yeah, he's slowly getting more over. Again, is that also other companies? Not really. Sanjay Dutt, again, not the most over, but, didn't get hurt by his losses that much, so that's good. And the Amazing Red, who, yeah, is up a little bit, he's really good in the ring, which means, that 50 overness is probably equal to like a 70 performance, especially versus Morishima. And yeah, just to go over things real quick, pour things out, pre-booking, we've got Delirious versus Tozawa for the junior heavyweight title, Morishima versus the Amazing Red for the world heavyweight title. Probably based on, what both teams have said here on Strong versus Feature Extraction in a final match for the tag team titles. I got some rejections. Let's see here. Al Snow's out of the WWE. Okay, Jared Briscoe I don't care about. Mr. Marshall graduates WWE. Okay. No other. That's unfortunate. I mean, we could try to sign Mr. Go. It would not work, but like, yeah, we could try. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted by that for a second. Yeah, again, just to go over for our overness. So we didn't really move up much in the Mid-Atlantic despite having a show there, so that's unfortunate. But still have to try. Great Lakes even, we're basically holding even everywhere, so just need to put getting better TV shows. Merch wise. So Dream Tattoo is still number 1, because of nostalgia. Loki's number 2. Sabu Strikes is number 3. National's number 4, and Amazing Red is number 5. Storyline wise, we've got Battle for Respect at a 56. Best in the World is at a 60. Country vs. ICP is at a 42. Forever Battling is at a 56. Junior Heavyweight Battles at a 50. And Moving Up is at a 60. And yeah, so I mean, oh yeah, top 100s just to go over stuff. So okay, that was not our best match because I keep on forgetting about that. That means that the rule is insanely good. Yeah, that was almost, yeah, okay. Verno Nigel was like our 7th best match. Yeah, still interesting. Devil's Night was number 10. Mainly because Morishima was not that over. Anyway, I don't want to get too involved in this. Again, title holders, just for people don't forget, Global Tagging Prowls was Shane Clark. World Junior Heavyweight Champion is Delirious. World Champion is Morishima. Which is funny because Kojima, of course, one of the first title holders way back in 2002. But anyway, that's it for tonight. So if you enjoyed this, go ahead and give it a like. Comment below on what you're enjoying and not enjoying about the series. And of course, listen to my TEW 2020 series. Watch this channel subscribe to the channel for lots of other TEW 2020 series, including this series, my WWE Eats series in 2013, where I randomly generated a bunch of goals for myself, my WCW 1994 series, now exiting Super Brawl and heading towards Spring Stampede, and my WCW 2001 series, now in 2004 and heading towards Super Brawl with Eddie Guerrero versus Shane Helms for the WCW World title, and Rob Van Dam versus Booker, and other big matches seemingly being set up. That's for now, so talk to you later, and adios. Have a good one.